I didn't come back to Arizona because I missed it. I came back because I ran out of excuses. The desert looks honest from far away. Wide, quiet, unbothered. But when you're standing in it, heat pressing against your skin, it forces you to confront everything you've been avoiding. That's how this place always worked on me. My name is Ethan Miller. I was 26 when I returned to a small town outside Tucson after 5 years of drifting between jobs and cities. Construction work, vac installs, anything that paid enough to keep me moving. Movement had become my way of staying numb. I told people I was back to help my friend with his business. That part was true. What I didn't say was that I was tired of running. Caleb Thompson had been my closest friend since high school. We survived bad teachers, worse girlfriends, and one unforgettable summer working night shifts at a gas station. While I left town chasing something undefined, Caleb stayed. He built a contracting company from the ground up, married young, then divorced quietly 2 years later. When I texted him that I was back, he replied in under a minute. Got work. Got space. You in? That was Caleb. No extra words. He lived on the edge of town now, a modest house surrounded by mesquite trees and red dust. The kind of place where silence felt intentional, not lonely. I arrived early the first morning, toolbox in hand, sun still low. Caleb greeted me with a quick hug and a nod toward the coffee maker. You look older, he said. So do you, I replied. We got to work immediately, fixing fences, repairing a shed roof, replacing an old AC unit. Honest work. Physical. The kind that keeps your thoughts from wandering too far. I thought that was all this would be. I was wrong. I heard her voice before I saw her. Caleb, you left your phone inside again. It stopped me mid-step. I turned slowly, already knowing who it was, though I hadn't heard that voice in years. Lena Thompson, Caleb's younger sister. She stood on the porch holding his phone, sunlight catching in her dark hair. She wore loose jeans, a plain white tank top, nothing dramatic, yet somehow everything about her felt quieter, deeper than I remembered. She wasn't the girl who used to roll her eyes at us anymore. She was a woman. Her gaze landed on me and held. Oh, she said softly. Ethan. Just my name. Nothing else. The way she said it made my chest tighten. Hey, Lena, I replied, forcing steadiness into my voice. She smiled, but there was something thoughtful behind it, like she was looking through me instead of at me. You're back, she said. For a while, I answered. She handed Caleb his phone and lingered a moment longer than necessary. Our eyes met again. No rush, no awkwardness, just awareness. Then she turned and went inside, and something shifted. I spent the rest of the day pretending I didn't feel it. Caleb didn't notice. Or maybe he did and chose not to comment. Either way, the work kept us busy until late afternoon. Lena stayed inside most of the time, but every so often I'd catch a glimpse of her through a window, sitting at the table with a notebook, pacing while on a call, standing quietly with a cup of tea. That night, lying on the couch Caleb had offered me, I stared at the ceiling and told myself this was nothing. She was my best friend's sister. That should have been the end of it. The days fell into a routine. Work in the heat, dust in my boots, sweat down my spine. Evenings spent eating whatever Lena cooked or whatever Caleb picked up on the way home. She didn't ask questions. She listened. Sometimes she'd sit across from me at the table, chin resting in her hand, eyes steady as I talked about places I'd been and mistakes I'd made. She never interrupted, never tried to fix anything. That alone felt dangerous. One evening, after Caleb left to check on a job site, Lena and I sat outside watching the sky bleed into orange and purple. You always leave when things get heavy, she said calmly. I blinked. Do I? She nodded. You did back then, too. I exhaled slowly. Maybe I thought that was survival. And now? I don't know yet. She studied me, not accusing, not disappointed, just curious. A week later, Mark showed up. He arrived in a clean truck, button-down shirt tucked in, confidence wrapped around him like armor. He kissed Lena's cheek too quickly, like a habit instead of a choice. This is Ethan, Caleb said. Mark shook my hand, gripped tight. His smile didn't reach his eyes. Lena pulled away gently and went inside without saying much. Later, While I was fixing a fence post, she brought me water. Her hands trembled slightly. "You okay?" I asked. "He doesn't listen," she said simply. That was all. It was enough. That night I didn't sleep. I kept hearing her voice. Calm, controlled, tired. I told myself to stay out of it. I failed. The confrontation came quietly. Rain tapped against the roof late one night when Lena knocked on the guest room door. Her eyes were red, but her posture was firm. "I can't stay here tonight," she said. "Not with him texting. Not with everything loud in my head." I didn't hesitate. "You can take the bed. I'll take the couch." She shook her head. "I don't need saving." "I know," I said. "You just need quiet." She looked at me for a long moment, then stepped inside. We didn't touch. We didn't need to. The silence felt full instead of empty. Morning came soft and gray. Lena sat at the table sketching while coffee brewed. I watched her without hiding it. "Why me?" she asked suddenly. I frowned. "What do you mean? Why do you feel safe?" I swallowed. "Because I stopped pretending." She smiled faintly. That was the moment everything changed. Caleb found out 2 days later. He didn't yell. That hurt more. "I trust you," he said quietly. "Don't make me regret it." "I won't," I replied, and I meant it. Lena and I didn't rush. We walked. We talked. We learned how to sit with feeling instead of running from it. One night, under sky full of stars, she took my hand. "Love doesn't need to be loud," she said. I nodded. "It just needs to be honest." When I kissed her, it felt like standing still after years of running. I came back thinking nothing would change. I was wrong, because sometimes love doesn't arrive like a storm. Sometimes it waits patiently, until you finally stop moving. Thank you for watching Classic Stories. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories that remind us how powerful compassion truly is.